Okay, so hi Arpan, thanks a lot for taking your time or you telling this important thing about data science to our viewers. So first, I think we can start with you explaining about your education background and how you entered data science field.
Hi, Nikhil. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It is indeed my pleasure. Uh, to start, so my educational background is I studied computer science
Mm-hmm.
at IIT Kanpur. I pursued dual degree, so BTech and MTech. But that time I didn't pursue any of the machine learning or data sciences specific courses.
Okay.
That time I was interested in something else, computer architecture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you this computer science and dual degree because in data sciences field, you can see that whenever you look at job requirements on LinkedIn, generally they ask for computer science or degree in mathematics or some courses on optimization.
Mm-hmm.
Also for senior roles, they look for things like either MS or PhD or some more work experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After pursuing my dual degree, I actually decided uh, to invest my time in preparation for civil services.
Mm-hmm.
I prepared for like more than couple of years, like 3 years, but I couldn't get through.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was looking for a job, and I I asked my friends, and one of my friends was working at this mobile ad network company. He
Mm-hmm.
referred me, and I got through.
Okay.
So this is also one important point that to get into this field, to get at good places, you need references.
References. Okay.
So you need good networking, right?
Okay.
You can establish that good networking either through internships during your academics,
Mm-hmm.
or you can connect with people over LinkedIn, or you can over in the conferences, right? Or you can
Use your.
collaborate with
Okay.
yeah other people through open source.
Okay.
So in 2015 I joined this mobile ad network, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I joined the marketplace team, but after 6 months I shifted to a data sciences team.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is generally not the trend in data sciences field. Generally people don't hire freshers, so generally
Okay.
people come from software engineering background, or after MS, or
Mm-hmm.
um, after PhD. But I was lucky enough to start as early as possible in the data sciences field.
Okay.
So in 2015, journey started. Yes.
Okay. So talking about data science field or data scientist, maybe for someone who does not know, बिल्कुल मतलब नया है फील्ड से, जस्ट उसने बस नाम सुना है इसका data science because it's a new role अभी recently, it's not a very old kind of job profile. So to that person जो जिसने बस नाम सुना है इस data science के बारे में, how will you explain what exactly is data science और एक data scientist का एक कंपनी में क्या रोल होता है? तो वो आप एक बिल्कुल लेमैन को या एक फ्रेशर को आप कैसे एक्सप्लेन करोगे?
Okay. Uh, so although the term data sciences, machine learning, artificial intelligence, they seem very profound,
हम्म.
but यदि simple terms में समझा जाए तो people have this philosophy in computer science and in mathematics basically, many years back.
हम्म.
Can machine be taught to perform some task? So imagine any task in your life.
हम्म.
It When I say any, I mean any task.
हम्म.
It could be like predicting weather, right? Or
हम्म.
it could be like if I'm saying something, then completing that sentence, right?
ओके.
Um, in Google,
गूगल
if you
ऑटो
have
करेक्ट या.
phones, it generally there are a lot of autocorrect.
यस.
Any task, consider any
गूगली.
task. For example, it could be translation from English to Hindi or Hindi to
ओके.
Tamil,
हम्म.
right? It could be from the arts also, like you want to paint a painting, right?
हम्म.
So this is also one task. So
हम्म.
consider any task, or if you want like things like rearing a child, right? Or recommending somebody good shopping options,
हम्म.
routing algorithms, like if you want to send a truck from point A to point B, then what should be the optimal thing? So my point is basically this is the philosophy that whatever task humans are performing, can machines be taught, right? Using good algorithms, using a lot of data,
Okay.
can machine be taught to perform those tasks, right? This is
Okay.
one step. And the second step is, of course, can machines teach other machines to do those things,
Okay.
right? So this
Okay.
was the philosophy, and people have been working in this area for a long time. Not just computer scientists, but mathematicians, neuroscientists, people from mechanical engineering world, right?
Mm.
They have been trying this task, right? And this is not just simple automation. So you can say that computers have already been doing all this complex task of a big calculation, complex
Right.
calculation. But वो सारे calculation programmers program करते हैं कि machine should do this in this way. For example, यदि मैं आपसे बोलूं कि uh, I will give 10 numbers to a calculator or a computer, and calculator will give me the sum of those 10 numbers, then somebody needs to program that way, that take
Okay.
10 numbers,
Okay.
then use arithmetic operation. But
Okay.
data science के आगे जाता है कि
Mm-hmm.
whatever programmers are programming, can
Mm-hmm.
machines learn those programs by themselves just by looking at the data and the task. So
Okay.
this is data sciences in simple terms. Now from now onwards, whenever you see some task, right,
Mm.
it any task, right, making a movie or making a trailer out of a movie, right, this kind
Mm-hmm.
of task, you just need to think in this terms कि अभी तो कोई बंदा कर रहा है उसे, राइट? कोई भी
Right.
टास्क है, सफाई करने वाला, पॉलिटिकल स्पीचेस देने वाला, अभी कोई बंदा कर रहा है, क्या मशीन से काम कर सकती है क्या, राइट?
Okay.
अभी कोई पेंटर पेंटिंग बना रहा है, क्या मशीन से पेंटिंग बना सकती है? So this is basically data sciences, and this is at broad level. And if you go to domains, different domains like paintings, music, machine translation, ad networks, best of the minds in the world, it is said nowadays that they are working for
Yeah.
advertisements, right? So yeah, so you
So,
can think
mm,
data sciences in specific terms when you are going to those domains.
right. So basically you were saying कि मेरे पास बहुत सा data है किसी भी type का and data collect कर रहा हूँ. How can I use that data and use it intelligently using some techniques that maybe we'll talk about, and then trying to get certain advantage like business advantage, or like you said in this case उसमें temperature etc. you maintain, then that really helped the company. So in short, basically using data, applying certain intelligence to help the company. That is sort of in nutshell
Right.
what data science is about, right?
Right, because when you see voluminous data,
Right.
uh, even if you give that data to programmer, it's very
Mm.
difficult to. In fact, I don't know that many people have tried to code that. For example, I give you a picture for
Mm.
a data engineer or for a software engineer. That picture is a matrix of maybe 256 by 256 numbers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those are like huge set of numbers. And if I ask him whether this is a picture of Sachin Tendulkar or not,
Mm-hmm.
a software engineer will think in terms of that I will write some program. If even if I have 10 pictures of Sachin Tendulkar and 100 pictures of not Sachin Tendulkar, a software engineer will think of trying a program, will think of writing a program in terms of rules, like
Right.
if there are, this pixel is red or this pixel is blue, and this is the boundary and this is the area of the picture, this is, then this will be Sachin Tendulkar, otherwise it is not. Now coming up with these rules might be easy for problems like sorting an array, or finding a maxima in array, for this kind of problem. But the example which I have given you, image recognition, and there are other tasks also, it's almost next to impossible for us, for a software engineer to write rules to perform that task. A
Okay.
picture is like a 256 by 256. You can think of text all over the news media. Even if you give that data and the task, software engineers won't write program for that. And there you want that, since we can't write that program, but we know how to do it, our mind can do it somehow. So can computers be programmed, right? They can think of those rules or whatever algorithm themselves. We will just
Right.
give them data and the task, and there will be a black box, and computers will perform the task and give us the
The
output.
rules based on the data, the computer itself is finding or creating those rules. Ki when you say this is
Right.
Sachin, this is not Sachin, the computer is itself developing that sort of rules or
Right.
algorithm, and then based
Right.
on that
And
you
that
are.
is very amazing. That is
That is
very
very
amazing. It's like it will be very difficult to explain the things, and that is also one of the points that most of the time you can't apply complex machine learning algorithms in some setup, for example banking setups or financial setups, because you can't explain what model is doing and how it is doing,
okay.
right? And in those domains people don't want to take risk, and I think that is one of the reasons that we don't have a lot of artificial intelligence traded funds even now in this age,
Got
right? There is a lot of work on algorithmic trading, but that is also on the side of software engineering. But machines are not trading themselves a lot, right?
because
Because in some domains you need explainably, you need to
okay,
explain why model
why
is
this
doing
is.
something.
So moving on now, Arpan, to more of like somebody wants to enter this field. So what are the qualification और क्या skills चाहिए उनको, and if you can tell कि online कौन से अच्छे resources या कोई books या offline also some courses are there कि somebody wants to either transition या कोई college में है. You said freshers are not very much by default the choice for this career, but is there a way, what is basically I'm trying to understand is the entry way to this data science, and what kind of skills do you think as a data scientist are very crucial, and what kind of people will be very good fit for this kind of a role?
Okay, so since one size doesn't fit all,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if people are at different phases of their careers,
Mm-hmm.
there would be different advices from my side.
Okay, okay.
If somebody is fresher or still they have 1 or 1.5 years to complete their degree,
Mm-hmm.
then they need to do something else. People who are already they have like 1 or 2 years of experience in software engineering and different things for them, and people who who are veterans in software engineering and architecture, they are architect, different things for them. And uh, people who are from different walks of life, right?
Yeah.
Somebody is working other industry, health industry, or somebody is in mathematics or other things, they want to enter data science, different thing. Most importantly, if somebody is in the college, most importantly for all of them, there is this one universal thing. uh, this is a big ship, and big ships sail very slowly. So whatever, if they are aiming, they should give themselves enough time, right? uh, 3 महीने 6 महीने में ज़्यादा कुछ हो नहीं पाएगा, दे विल एंड अप डिसअपॉइंटेड. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि जहाँ भी जो भी जिस फेज में है एटलीस्ट 1 और 2 इयर्स के लिए प्लान करें.
Okay.
इसमें जो मेन नॉलेज वाइज चीजें होती हैं वो मैथमेटिक्स होता है, कंप्यूटर साइंस होता है, और एमएल के टॉपिक्स होते हैं, मशीन लर्निंग के टॉपिक्स.
Mm-hmm.
एंड तीनों बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Okay.
मैथमेटिक्स में जितना ज़्यादा इफ़ यू आर गुड, it helps a lot, and it helps implicitly, because nowadays nobody is asking you to prove some algorithm, or and if you are working at corporate, everything is most of the times it is already prepared for you. Someone else has already worked on most of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But वो चीजें पता होना चाहिए because of two reasons. One, you need to enter into the industry, so you need to crack the interviews, and secondly एक अच्छी solid understanding बनती है उससे, you will be more confident. And mathematics में भी most importantly two things are important: linear algebra and calculus, right?
Okay.
So just do some basic things on that. uh, Moving back to second topic, computer science, this is also very important.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be very good at these software engineering tools like editors, or airflow things, schedulers or Uzi Falcon,
Mm-hmm.
but should know the basic principles of programming languages.
Okay.
I would say that go for, if you want to pick one programming language, pick Python, because that is mostly that is widely used in
Yeah.
this domain. Yeah,
Okay.
and so if you are referring to someone else's code, you won't waste time in converting those things from your language to their language or vice versa. So go for Python, but the basic point is you should know the principles of programming languages,
Okay.
right? Uh, Python, that is programming thing, and data structures and algorithms.
Right.
Again, not something like a B tree or those kind of red black trees or those kind of stuff, or approximate algorithm. Not those kind of things. Simple stuff, which most of the time you will use already implemented libraries, but you should know that how your code is working. You should know to profile your code, not using some profiler. You should know how to debug your codes, right? Not using some debuggers, but you need to know about these things. So
Okay.
data structures, algorithms, Python, and yeah, that's mostly about computer science. And now coming back to third point, which is ML specific knowledge. There are two fields nowadays. It's
Mm.
like classical machine learning algorithms, which I
Mm.
think everybody might have heard of, like logistic regression or linear regression,
Mm. Yeah.
clustering things.
Mhm.
Right? Those are the things. Those are prevalent in all the fields in
Mhm.
engineering, like mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering. Everywhere
Right.
people
Right.
use economics. Right?
Right.
Those are the things. Of course, you should be good at
Mm.
those things, knowledge-wise. And now there is this big area for past 6 years, which is
Mhm.
deep learning, right?
Deep learning.
And
Okay.
it goes by different names like neural networks or other kind of stuff, but people call
Okay.
it deep learning.
Mhm.
So that is something specialized knowledge that is not required for freshers, but it
Mhm.
should be on your list. There, I see nowadays most of the freshers also come up with that knowledge. They pursue some
Mhm.
courses in the college, and they
Okay.
come with those things on resume. They have implemented something, but if you are putting that on your resume, you should know the basics of those things very well. It should not be just you picked up something from Google's API and you have implemented it and you don't know about those algorithms.
Mhm.
There is this one algorithm in deep learning, for example, very famous, which is called as backpropagation.
Mhm.
I'm just giving you example about that.
Mhm.
That people come up with all these projects in their resume, but they don't know about those things. If you give them simple example and ask them to implement backpropagation, they can't do it.
Okay.
Now there is no scarcity of such people,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, these people are not required in the field. I take a lot of interviews and I have
Okay.
given few interviews, and this is like this does not reflect good upon you that you write something and you don't know basics of things. So, mathematics, computer science, and ML. In ML, there are two things: classical machine learning
Mhm.
related topics and deep learning related topics. Now, all these things take a lot of time, right?
Okay.
um, but and it should, if it is in your educational curriculum, it's very good for you. Pay attention there. Otherwise, if you need to pursue it from outside, you were asking me about the
Yes.
resources.
Some sources.
You were asking me about the resources, so
Yeah.
I would say that the just go to YouTube and there are a lot of good
Okay.
courses there. But I would suggest that after once you have you have mastered the basics, you
Mhm.
can do crash courses like for mathematics. Of course, there are small courses on Coursera, Udemy.
Okay.
So there you can brush up your linear algebra or calculus thing. Again, I'm saying those are not required in your day-to-day life because everything is done by nowadays machines only. But you should know about
You
these
should.
things because you know that how it is working.
Right. Right.
For computer science thing, data structures and algorithms, there are good source on Coursera by Princeton University. I
Okay.
think the professor's name is Sedgwick. I will
Okay.
have to see, but there are two courses, Algorithms 1 and Algorithm 2. Those
Okay.
are pretty good courses.
Mhm.
And regarding Python, it's very simple language.
Yeah.
If you know the principles of programming languages, it's nothing new there. You don't need to
Okay.
go for advanced concepts. In fact, if you look at Python, its grammar is also like one page only,
Mhm.
and the Python docs are good. For
Okay.
machine learning, for basic concepts, there is good course by Andrew Ng on Coursera. All these things
Mhm.
are free things, right? You don't need to pay
Okay.
for anything else,
Okay.
right? This one thing. And for deep learning, there are a lot of resources. My favorite are Stanford course on NLP, right? Natural language processing, Stanford um, classroom program. right?
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot one thing in mathematics,
Mhm.
which is very important, and it
Mhm.
is in your day-to-day life also it is used, which is probability and statistics.
Probably. Okay.
This is Achilles heel for many of us, but there's good course from MIT, right?
Mm-hmm.
The two professors take that, basically introduction to probability and statistics.
Okay.
You can do it, and in probability you should know, like that basic course you should
Great.
know about random variables and other things, and statistics you should know about hypothesis testing, right?
Okay.
Because in machine learning, when you are working, you need to set up a lot of experiments, AB experiments, and there those things come very handy. So in mathematics, three topics: linear algebra, calculus, probability, and statistics. Yeah.
In programming, you said Python, and then in machine learning, you have to know the basic, all the algorithms, as you said. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and then you can, quickly, not quickly, but slowly, you can venture into deep learning area.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. I think that is will be very helpful. Maybe we can give the exact link of the courses in the description of the video. Also, now
Sure.
moving on, about, if we say, as a fresher, if I want to, or as a person, if I want to get into career, what are the salary ranges like? Just small, I mean, I know it's a big kind of career, but if you can tell that, that will also help somebody who is trying to thinking about entering this field, will help in making a decision. So what kind of career, what kind of salaries are there in this field,
Okay.
starting
So
salary and
even
then.
up, yeah, even until now, this field, the things are not well defined. If
Mm,
you look at engineers role, their things are mostly defined at lower levels, only at
mhm,
architect level or principal architect level. Lot of thinking goes on and new things and all that. But for freshers, things are very defined. Uh,
mhm,
Unlike that, in data sciences field, even from the starting, a lot of things have to be undertaken, um, which are not defined. Problems are, first of all, problems are unstructured. You need to yourself put effort to convert business problems into machine
mhm,
learning problems. And also, there's no guarantee that your solution will also work, right? So you need to invest a lot of time. Because of these things, the salaries of even freshers, right,
mhm.
if they get into data sciences field, is generally higher than their counterparts in the engineering field, right?
Okay.
If you look at the big companies,
Mhm,
um, salaries are at par with, in big companies actually, the salaries are at par with their engineering counterparts.
mhm.
If you, I mean, I would just say that if you're going for a good company, and you should go for a good company only, then they will pay you handsomely.
Okay.
There's not like, and because I think you yourself also know that this field is blooming, and
Yeah.
still there is a scarcity of good people. So as I have mentioned, if you have invested 2 to 2.5 years in mastering these things, um, you make yourself a luxury which not all companies can afford, right?
Okay.
So they will pay you handsomely.
Um,
The ranges, I can talk about India only. After
mhm.
4 5 years experience, 5 years experience, um, you should be demanding at least that much, and 30 lakhs or above that.
Okay.
You should be demanding
So it
more
is
than that.
one of the most lucrative careers in India right now, you will say.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, just little bit different. You talked about a lot of technical. You need to have programming knowledge. You need to have mathematics knowledge. You need to have different ML knowledge. About business, at the end of the day, a business is looking at a data scientist to, if I understand correctly, I mean, is looking at the data scientist to use the data to give some business insight or business output. So for a data scientist, is understanding of business also crucial, or is it more like a more technical job, or then there is a kind of a disconnect between the business? Because at the end, eh, business always wants a ROI kind of thing. So what is your take? Should data scientists also understand exactly what the company is doing on a business, on an operational level, what value they are creating, and then use that information in your day-to-day understanding, basically understanding the context. How important is that?
I would say that 80% of the good data scientists work in corporate
Mm-hmm.
is understanding business problem only and
Okay.
reducing that business problem to ML problem. And 20% of the time they do their ML stuff. And
Acha.
in the end, they need to communicate back whatever their solutions are to the business team, right?
Okay. Okay.
Uh, they are mostly data sciences work in the backend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And company, it's like company needs to make money. If you are working corporate, it's not like you are going for research. There are only
Yeah.
very few companies in the world you might have heard of, like DeepMind, or that is Google's now,
Yeah.
DeepMind, and then Elon Musk, OpenAI, right? Only
OpenAI.
few companies which are working on research kind of stuff. Otherwise, all big companies, including Google, Facebook, Twitter, other companies, uh, there the data scientists are working towards making money only, right?
Okay.
Now, what is the typical cycle of a data scientist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like everything is given to them, all the data, or everything in business ML terms, and they just need to do modeling. If this is your perception, this is not how things work in real world.
Okay.
Mostly things start, and in data sciences the projects are for longer term, maybe 1 year or 2 years or like that.
Okay.
But at least a quarterly goals are there, and instead of day to day, it's like you're working towards achieving something in a quarter.
Quarter.
So
Okay.
business people come to the product guys, right?
Mm.
Product guys, they understand the problem, business problem, along with the data scientists, right?
Mm.
Then product guys communicate to engineering and data sciences.
Okay.
And even at this stage, the problem is in the terms of business problem, right? Product guys just add few um, acceptable metrics, right? Or they
Okay.
simplify things, or they prioritize things, that which thing is more important,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
When data sciences get problem, right, it's in business form, and of course they can't feed that business problem to computers, right? It's in natural language.
Right.
So scientists need to think about converting, reducing that problem
Business.
to ML problems. Data scientists themselves need to think about that, what data they need and how you need to collect that data. They need to ensure that how its sanity would be measured. They need to develop models. They need to evaluate those things, right? How it's very sometimes very difficult to evaluate that a solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a good solution or not, because as I mentioned earlier, that all the solutions have some kind of errors, right? So they need to think about the evaluation in such manner that it would be acceptable to the business people and product guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
uh, in If you notice that all these things when data scientists are doing, uh, if you work for 3-4 years, you will realize that only 20% of the time is regarding core modeling or ML work. Most of the effort of a data scientist goes into planning about these things, understanding
Okay.
business problem, thinking about the experimentation frameworks, and most importantly, communicating whatever a data scientist has achieved to the business folks.
Okay.
Because if you make a good solution, but if you are
Mm.
not able to persuade business guys, it will never see the solution will never see uh, the light
Right.
of the day.
Okay. Got it. Because yeah, from business perspective, as I said, they want, okay, this is the problem, we have a lot of data, what you can bring out of it as a technical person,
Right.
and then
Yeah. So
that kind
very
of barrier should be broken, because they will not understand the ML language. You have to explain to them in a very simple language. So that
right.
then becomes a very important skill for a data scientist to communicate, as you said, to present the findings as well for the business
Yeah.
team.
Sometimes statements are so broad. For example, increase revenue of some product, or like increase
Okay.
visits of some product, right?
Mm.
Increase sales of some product, right?
Mm.
So if you work for a retailer, of if you are working for a network, the problem statements would be so vague that perhaps 3 to 6 months of a data scientist will be in creating the right kind of questions and creating the opportunities in that broad field, and then prioritizing those things that which he or she should take up first, right?
Got
And making that vague thing into a specific thing. And a really good and as well as successful data scientists are those which have a outcome oriented mindset, which generally business people and product guys they like it, instead of research oriented thing. That's something they can quickly come up with approximate solution as quickly as possible. So I was saying that successful data
it.
scientists have this outcome oriented mindset. Also they have like good ability of converting these broad vague problems into specific things,
Mm-hmm.
and they can really intrigue as well as surprise business folks if they can convert the business statement into small specific problems, as well as they can show them that what is the accuracy of this thing, right? Something, for example, a
Mm-hmm.
full solution, for example, in data structures, and for example in algorithm, a full solution is not just you are giving us the solution. You need
Mm-hmm.
to do two more things. First thing is you need to give them the time and space complexity, and also you need to prove that this correctness of the solution, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
somebody asks you to find the shortest path, or if somebody asks you to sort an array, right? A software engineer is expected to not only come up with a solution but also come up with what is its time and space complexity and proof of correctness. Similarly, for data scientists, coming up with a solution is not enough. One needs
Mm-hmm.
to prove their solution also that it is working up to some extent, and there they need to set up experiments, a lot of experiments, and they need to prove their hypothesis. And business people like this very much, that
Got
they came up with a broad problem like increase the sales of something or increase the revenue, and a data scientist has come up with specific
it.
problems and solve them.
So, great, great. Right. Got it, got it. So I think great final lot of information, lot of knowledge I got today, and I think this video will be very helpful. Final thoughts, I will like to ask you, what will be your final message to people who want to enter into this field? What is sort of the advice from you to them?
My Before my advice, I want to make sure that the impression after this talk should not be that this is something very profound and sophisticated. What I
Mm-hmm.
want to drive is this is a very simple thing, very simple feel
Mm-hmm.
and very natural thing. And people generally think so in these terms only, that can machines be taught to perform what humans are performing, right?
Right.
So please take this message. This field is very simple. It's just you need to give at least 2 years, to understand these things. If you are, following good resources,
Mm-hmm.
please enter this field. And if you are in software engineering field, then you have really good advantage, right?
Right.
Mix your software engineering skills with data sciences. In fact, they are more scarce. If you look at there are three kind of folks in this field. One are data scientists who are doing modeling and other kind of stuff. The second kind of people are who are also very good at engineering, and they are good at data sciences. So they are more scarce and they are more valued. And finally, there are third kind of people who are good at engineering, who are good at data scientists, and who have research kind of academic kind of background also, who can invent new things. So they
Right.
are the most scarce people. So if you are in engineering field, that's a good thing. Unfortunately, I didn't start my career as a software engineer.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are in engineering, it would be very good for you. Enter this field. Give yourself 2 years of time. It will, in monetary terms, also your compensation will be very good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, you can, uh, if you're good at it, reasonably good at it, not like very good at it, you can apply this thing in all other walks of life. You can apply those things if you are trading in derivatives, as a hobby.
Right.
You can apply this data oriented mindset, this planning, this conversion of business problems into technical problems, or communicating your results in simple terms.
Mm-hmm.
All these skills you can use at in all other walks of life. Even if you are, listening to some news, you can analyze those things better than other folks.
Right. Okay, I think thanks a lot, Arpan. It was a lot of information and knowledge for us, and I think this will be very helpful. And we wish you a very successful career in data science, and we are very thankful to you for giving us this information. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye bye.